Hi everyone, I'm Jewel for J7409 Tropical Update, and of course we're talking all about Dorian, just Dorian. I'm not talking about the other systems right now. Of course, this is one of the loops going on now. It's one of the floater loops from the GOES East band, and yes, it is down in strength. Dorian is down in strength and Dorian is moving. And the center of circulation in the eye, it's got very, very ragged. That's a good thing. That brings the winds down in it. But so far as the size of the storm, remember when it was little bitty? Well, when the eye starts to do this and it starts to get ragged, the storm is actually bigger. It covers more area. And that's why coming up the coastline, especially for South Carolina and North Carolina, look like the two states that are really under the gun right now, and we may even have a landfall in North Carolina before it's all over. Currently, right now, the winds in Dorian are 110 miles per hour, and the minimum central pressure is 959 millibars. It's located at 28.1 north, 78.8 west, and it is moving northwest at 6 miles per hour. Now, when we come to the latest tracking map from the National Hurricane Center, you can see that hurricane warnings are still up down around Florida. This is where it's at right as of 8 o'clock earlier tonight, right in this area. Should make that turn sometime coming up tomorrow afternoon. We've got hurricane warnings all up and down the coastline of South Carolina, North Carolina. And as for myself, I am under a hurricane watch at this time. All of eastern North Carolina down to right in here. Hurricane watch up in this area. We have a tropical storm watch going on for the Virginia area. So, remember that what I told you about these bars, the closer they get together, the faster it moves. So, through here, it would not surprise me if down around South Carolina, it might try to pick up a little bit of strength. Now, I'm not saying it's going to get up to something catastrophic, but it probably more than likely will remain a very good, strong Category 2, if not a little more, when it's right down in this area. As it moves on across, it should weaken on out. And it may not do this. It's just what it looks like it may do to me. Now, I'm going to try to go over watches and warnings for everybody, but everybody on the North Carolina eastern coast, I have to look after you guys because that's me and my neck of the woods, and I'm going to do everybody justice just as good as I can, but I want to go over to the latest report that's been put out from the National Weather Service down in Newport. Now, this covers everybody in eastern North Carolina, okay? I'll show you more maps in a moment. This is New Bern, this is Washington, this is the Outer Banks, this is everybody in Plymouth and Creswell and everywhere, okay, in eastern North Carolina. Looking like now, the biggest thing for me that is my real worry is surge, storm surge. It is high at this time. Rainfall and flooding is high at this time. They just put this out tonight. Winds high. We're going to have high winds. We're going to have 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, if not higher. But we do have a low tornado threat. The greatest tornado threat that I've seen has been down around the Jacksonville area. I've had people write me, is it going to be bad as Florence? Well, I hope not. Okay? I hope not. And it'll be quite different than Florence was for a lot of us, because Florence just would not quit day and day, night and night. This should come in and in a few hours go back out. But here is the storm surge watch right now. You can see up around Columbia and this part of Washington County, that far up in the eastern sections, all along from Duck clean down to Ocracoke. This is all watches, all the way down to Morehead City, Sneed's Ferry, Newbern, Oriental, Aurora, and of course Washington. As we move this up, you can see a little bit right down here as we get a little lower. That is a warning already. Now we will move through to the storm surge threat, and you can see what's going on. If you are in the orange, if you live anywhere around where you see orange, you got a good chance, it's looking like, of 6 to possibly 7 feet of storm surge above ground level. Now, that covers a big portion. That's up in Plymouth too. Plymouth, with a little bit of yellow. They have the Roanoke River up there, and more than likely it's going to flood out at some point and bring some storm surge in. Also, of course, I live out in this area right in here, and I don't live in Belhaven, but I live out in this area here. Belhaven's a little over this little dot you see, but I'm going to get it too, and it even increases more down around Morehead City, down around Jacksonville, and North Topsail Beach. I've said in other videos I've made, I thought that down around Topsail Beach and up around Emerald Isle and all of those little places right in here, I think you're going to get the worst of the storm period. So if you're in the red, that's greater than 9 feet above ground level. Storm surge is going to come rolling in. So please prepare, folks. What does it exactly mean with the storm surge? We know it's all this water rushing at us. Well, on the beach areas, it causes severe beach erosion, and the dunes are lost, and large sections of near-shore escape routes and secondary roads, they're just washed out completely or either flooded so bad you can't get through them. And this is going to change some, because I have a feeling that everything that's orange is probably going to be turning red by sometime tomorrow. So please, folks, I can't stress enough, after what I went through with Florence last year, storm surge is a killer. So be prepared and know what to do with it. I'm not trying to frighten anybody. I'm just telling you that there is this chance here, and it's looking greater and greater right now of this happening. So make sure you've got your preparations done. Now, when it comes to the flooding rain, well, goodness gracious. North Topsail Beach, the Emerald Isle, Morehead City area, Cedar Island, Ocracoke, Hatteras Village, all you guys got 10 to 15 inches of rain. When you get up to Rodanthe and Manteo, that's 8 to 10, up to Duck, 6 to 8. Englehart, 8 to 10. Stumpy Point, 8 to 10. Swan Quarter, 8 to 10. Bayburl, Newbern, 8 to 10. When you get over in my neck of the woods, it's looking like I'm going to get 6 to 8 inches of rain. And that goes as well as for Plymouth, Columbia, Trenton. Other than that, it starts off at the 8 to 10 again. If you're in the Greenville area, the Williamston area, Snow Hill, Kinston, Kenansville, looking like 4 to 6 inches of rain. We have to be concerned with the storm surge, but also flooding from the rain, and some amounts could actually get 15 inches. It's looking like it, okay? Now, for the Pamlico River and for the Pungo River up in this area and down in here for the river, expect some storm surge. I'm just telling you. Go ahead and prepare. You know all this rain's coming on top of it. You cannot be too ready. Make sure you can stay wherever you're at for at least a couple of days with food and water, and make sure it's safe before you go out, because there's going to be debris everywhere. Right quickly, we do need to go over the watches and warnings, but before I do that, I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not. The number's probably gone up, but earlier in the day, 6,200 people in the Bahamas did not have any water to drink. Can you imagine? 6,200 people in the Bahamas without drinking water. So like I say, I don't know if that number's correct right now or not. This was earlier in the day. Now, we got a storm surge warning in effect for Jupiter Inlet, Florida to Surf City, North Carolina. A storm surge watch in effect north of Surf City, NC to Duck, NC. Pamlico and Albemarle Sounds, the Neuse, and the Pamlico Rivers. Hurricane warning in effect for Sebastian Inlet, Florida to Ponte Verde Beach, Florida, north of Savannah River to Surf City, North Carolina. Hurricane watch in effect from north of Ponte Verde Beach, Florida to Savannah River, north of Surf City, NC to the North Carolina-Virginia border and the Albemarle and Pamlico Sounds. Tropical storm warning is in effect. Grand Bahama and Abascus Island in the northwestern Bahamas, north of Ponte Verde Beach, Florida to Savannah River, Jupiter Inlet, Florida to Sebastian Inlet in Florida. And we have a tropical storm watch in effect for the North Carolina-Virginia border to Chincoteague, Virginia, Chesapeake Bay from Smith Point southward. Now, I'm not going to go into all this stuff. Y'all know what a storm surge warning, tropical storm warning, and all that stuff means, or you should by now. But we're going to come down here and see what could be affecting everybody. The wind, the tropical storm conditions will continue on the Grand Bahama Island and along Treasure Coast of Florida for a few more hours. Then tropical storm conditions are expected to begin within the tropical storm warning area in North Florida and Georgia late tonight and early tomorrow. Hurricane conditions are expected somewhere within the hurricane warning area in Florida overnight. Now, tropical storm conditions will begin with the hurricane warning around in the Carolinas tomorrow with hurricane conditions by Wednesday night. Storm surge water levels should very slowly subside on the Grand Bahama Islands and the Baco Island through tonight near the coast, and the surge will be accompanied by large and destructive waves. The combination of all this dangerous storm surge and the tide will cause normally dry areas near the coast to be flooded by rising waters moving inland from the shoreline. And as a matter of fact, my water has already started to rise. So if you are in eastern North Carolina and you are close to the water, you might see your water starting to already rise. Now, Savannah River to Cape Lookout, North Carolina, 4 to 7 feet. Volusia-Brevard County line, Florida to Savannah River, 3 to 5 feet. Cape Lookout, NC to Duck, including Pamlico and Albemarle Sounds, and the Neuse and the Pamlico Rivers, they've got 3 to 5, but on the chart it's more like 6 to 7. Jupiter Inlet, Florida to Volusia-Brevard County line, Florida, 2 to 4. Now, let me see what they've got going on down here. The Hurricane Center saying water levels could begin to rise how about that? Well in advance of the arrival of strong winds. A surge will be accompanied by large and destructive waves. Surge-related flooding depends on how close the center comes to the coast, and it's looking like it's nudged over a bit for eastern North Carolina. And it can vary greatly over a short distance, like the center has got ragged and the whole storm's got ragged. The storm is stretching out and reaching more area now than it did 24 hours ago. Now, the flooding rains is looking like the Bahamas an additional, bless their hearts, 1 to 3 inches with isolated storm totals before it's all over to 30. Coastal Carolinas 5 to 10 with an isolated 15. Atlantic coast from Florida Peninsula north to West Palm Beach through Georgia and across southeast Virginia, 3 to 6 inches. We all know the surf's a mess. Don't go out in it. Rip currents galore. Very, very dangerous. That's up and down the entire eastern coast right now, all the way up from Maryland and off the coast of New Jersey, all the way down to Florida. Now, a tornado or two is possible near the immediate coast of Florida during the next several hours, and this risk will shift to along the immediate coast of Georgia and the Carolinas tomorrow right through Thursday. I'm going to leave you with this information for tonight. Tomorrow night at some point, I may try to go live. I'm not promising, but just keep your eyes and ears open. I will post something to let you guys know if I am going live. So I'll try my best to do that. It may be the last chance I get to talk to you before the storm hits. But as you can see, I'll leave you with this map here, and you can see as it moves from here to here, we're right here. There's a great chance that where this pink area is, there could be a direct impact. I'm not saying it's going to be. I'm saying there is a great chance. So with all that said and done, please stay safe, my friends, everywhere you are. I love you all. Thank you so much for everything you do for me. Please share this information for me if you would. I'd appreciate that a lot. And everybody, please stay safe. God bless you all. Peace, love, and kindness to all. Thanks for watching.